Welcome to CELPIP Speaking Task 2. In this task, you'll have the opportunity to share a personal experience connected to a specific topic or theme. As you speak, focus on providing rich details about your experience, reflecting on its significance, and expressing your emotions or reactions. This is a chance to engage your listener and convey the impact this experience had on you. Let's dive in and explore this section together. Let's take a moment to look at an example for CELPIP Speaking Task 2. Reviewing this will help you familiarize yourself with the task and better prepare for the exam. Describe a recent journey to a place you've never been before, whether it's a new city, a different region, or even a foreign country. How did you find the trip itself? Were there any unexpected challenges or pleasant surprises? And most importantly, what was the overall result or takeaway from your experience? Let's take a closer look at the final sentence and examine the task. 1. How did you find the trip itself? 2. Were there any unexpected challenges or pleasant surprises? 3. What was the overall result or takeaway from your experience? Take note that there are 3 tasks at hand, given that task 2 allots you 60 seconds for speaking. A question such as this would need you to allot roughly 20 seconds for each of these 3 sections. Now, we will listen to 2 responses, one at level 7 and another at level 12. As we listen, pay close attention to the content, structure, and language used by each speaker. After the recordings, we'll review both responses together. We'll discuss what each speaker did well and identify specific areas for improvement. This will not only help you understand the criteria for a higher score, but also give you practical tips for your own responses. Let's begin by listening to the level 7 response. Here is a response for Speaking Task 2 that has been scored at level 7. As you listen, pay attention to the content, clarity, and overall delivery. This will give you a good sense of what a level 7 response sounds like. Let's take a listen.
Recently, I went on a journey to a new city, called Jaipur. I had never been there before, so it was really exciting for me. I traveled by train, and the scenery along the way was really beautiful. I could see vast fields and some small villages, which was quite refreshing. As for the trip itself, there were a few unexpected challenges. I had some trouble finding my hotel because the streets were a bit confusing, but I also had some pleasant surprises, like meeting some friendly locals who helped me out and suggested some great places to eat. Overall, it was a memorable experience, and I really enjoyed exploring the city.
Now, let's listen to a response for Speaking Task 2 that has been scored at level 12. As you listen, focus on the advanced vocabulary, fluency, and the overall effectiveness of the advice given. This example will help you understand what a high-level response looks like. Let's begin.
Not long ago, I embarked on a journey to Lisbon, Portugal, a city that had always intrigued me but remained unexplored until now. From the moment I arrived, I was captivated by the vibrant streets adorned with colorful tiles and the scent of fresh pastries wafting through the air. However, the trip wasn't without its challenges. On my first day, I discovered that many locals spoke, limited English. I found myself lost a couple of times, but these moments forced me to engage with the culture more deeply. A pleasant surprise came when I stumbled upon a family-owned restaurant tucked away in a narrow alley. The owner was incredibly welcoming and offered me a dish that wasn't on the menu. This experience highlighted the warmth of Portuguese hospitality. Ultimately, my journey to Lisbon taught me invaluable lessons about adaptability and the joy of serendipity in travel. I returned home with souvenirs and a deeper understanding of the city's culture.
Let us explore the similarities between the Level 7 and Level 12 responses to the CELPIP Speaking Task. 2. Regarding describing a recent journey to a place you've never been before. In both the Level 7 and Level 12 responses, we can see a common theme, the exploration of personal travel experiences. Each speaker recounts their adventures in a new city, allowing us to connect with the excitement of discovering unfamiliar places. For example, the Level 7 speaker shares their journey to Jaipur, expressing their enthusiasm. I had never been there before, so it was really exciting for me. Similarly, the Level 12 speaker describes their trip to Lisbon with a sense of intrigue, a city that had always intrigued me but remained unexplored until now. This shared focus on travel sets the foundation for both narratives. Another similarity lies in the acknowledgement of challenges faced during their trips. The Level 7 response notes the difficulty in finding a hotel due to confusing streets. I had some trouble finding my hotel. In the Level 12 response, the speaker also encounters challenges, stating, I discovered that many locals spoke limited English. This parallel highlights the common experience of navigating new environments. Finally, both speakers reflect on the personal growth derived from their journeys. The Level 7 response concludes with a simple appreciation. Overall, it was a memorable experience. In contrast, the Level 12 speaker provides a deeper reflection, saying, ultimately my journey taught me invaluable lessons about adaptability. Yet both convey a sense of gratitude and fulfillment from their experiences, reinforcing the universal nature of travel as a source of personal insight. Now, let's delve into the key differences between the Level 7 and Level 12 responses to the CELPIP Speaking Task 2 regarding describing a recent journey to a place you've never been before. When comparing the Level 7 and Level 12 responses, several key differences emerge that illustrate the varying levels of proficiency in speaking. Firstly, the content and coherence of the narratives differ significantly. The Level 7 response, while informative, presents its ideas in a straightforward manner that often feels disconnected. For instance, the speaker mentions challenges and surprises but does not fully develop these experiences. I had some trouble finding my hotel because the streets were a bit confusing. In contrast, the Level 12 response weaves a rich narrative that connects experiences with reflections. The speaker describes their initial enchantment upon arrival. From the moment I arrived, I was captivated by the vibrant streets, demonstrating a clear progression in their storytelling. Next, we notice a stark contrast in vocabulary. The Level 7 speaker relies on basic language and frequently uses fillers such as which can detract from the overall impact of the narrative. Phrases like there were like a few unexpected challenges lack the sophistication we might expect at a higher level. In comparison, the Level 12 response showcases a more advanced and varied vocabulary. For example, the speaker describes their experience with rich details, the scent of fresh pastries wafting through the air, which not only paints a vivid picture, but also elevates the quality of the response. In terms of listenability, the Level 7 response features noticeable hesitations and filler words that disrupt fluency. For example, the speaker's frequent pauses can make the narrative less engaging. As for the trip itself, on the other hand, the Level 12 speaker delivers their thoughts with greater fluency and rhythm. Their speech flows smoothly, enhancing the overall listenability and engagement of the audience. These moments force me to engage with the culture more deeply. Lastly, the level of task fulfillment varies greatly between the two responses. The level 7 response meets the basic requirements but lacks depth and emotional engagement. It concludes with a general statement, "I really enjoyed exploring the city." In contrast, the level 12 response not only fulfills the task, but does so with rich insights and reflections, stating, "I returned home with souvenirs and a deeper understanding of the city's culture." This depth of engagement with the prompt reflects a higher level of proficiency and a more satisfying narrative experience for the listener. In summary, while both responses share the theme of travel, the differences in content coherence, vocabulary, listenability, and task fulfillment highlight the distinct levels of speaking proficiency demonstrated by each speaker.